Coffee for the morning time. Breakfast. Garlic, egg whites, 2 egg whites, and 2 pieces of turkey bacon. So yum. A snack of roasted asparagus sprinkled with coarse sea salt. So good. Spinach and tomato salad. Look, y'all, I rescued my friend.
Oh God, Sonia. Don't put me on freaking YouTube.
We have all kinds of outings. We've been going to the park. They were going to Chill Valley. Yum. Dinner is gumbo, shrimp, and chicken gumbo. It's a little saltier than I like to go, but I've drank a lot of water today. I'm going to drink a lot tomorrow, and we'll be fine. Hey guys! Okay, so normally when I talk to you, like midday, I stick this like where it belongs chronologically. I think I'm going to stick it at the end of the video though, so if it's like turning dark in other clips and then this is here, that's why, because this is all about PCOS, which is girly shit, and boys don't want to hear girly shit. I know I have at least 2 boy viewers and I don't want to like bombard them with chick stuff. So if you're a dude, thanks for watching, you can stop now. Anyway, if you're a dude who wants to hear about this bullshit, then you can listen. So it's really up to you. Personally, you know, I just, if I was a dude, I'd be like, stick with your chicks, don't talk to me about that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Alright, I mentioned it in a video and somebody asked me a couple of questions, so now I'm going to address them. And I'm going to do my best. I'm probably going to repeat myself and stuff. I'm not a doctor. I only know my understanding of it. I only know my experience. I only know what doctors have told me. So don't get all your panties in a bunch if this doesn't make sense to you or if your doctor has told you different things. Because I had 2 doctors tell me 2 very different things. So I think it has a lot to do with, like, actually I had 3 doctors tell me 3 very different things. It has a lot to do with, you know, the doctor, what they believe, the experiences they've had. Medicine is science, and science is always changing. We are constantly, as a race, I mean a species, not a race, as a species, we're constantly learning, growing, evolving, discovering, thinking, all this other stuff, right? So this is all, you know, it's, I met a doctor one time, and this had to do with the fibromyalgia, and he was like, I was talking to him about different things and my experiences thus far, and he was like, let me explain something to you. That sounds like a very sophomoric approach to medicine. And I was like, oh, what? And he was like, it sounds like your doctor is probably very smart, probably did very well in school, probably passed all her tests, but it's constantly evolving and you have to have an open mind. You can't just put people in boxes and then expect every case to be the same. And unfortunately, you wound up with a doctor who only has one understanding of the medicine and blah. And I was like, wow, like he blew my mind, right? So I'm going to talk to you about PCOS as I know it. I was diagnosed when I was 16. I started my period when I was 11. I got my first period. Then I didn't have one for like a year. And then I got one, and then I didn't have one for like 6 months. And then after that, it was like every 3 to 9 months, I would have a period that would last 3 weeks to 6 months. Literally. They might like die off and become very light and then hit again really heavy, or stay heavy for a month, or they would make me really sick. They were horribly, like, I was horribly tired. I was horribly anemic. It was just an awful situation. So I went to the doctor. I was 16, yeah. And he was like, well, I can tell just looking at you by the physical symptoms that you have PCOS, but we'll do the hormone test. And that's what they did. And so I was diagnosed. And it comes like you can have like skin problems, facial hair, like there's like a dark marking that happens like in the creases of your skin. You know, the irregular crazy periods, like all of that is part of it. So but see, the changing in your skin and the facial hair and a lot of the symptoms are also symptoms of, or also side effects of being overweight. So it's kind of like, and then supposedly the PCOS makes it easier to gain weight and harder to lose weight. So here's the situation. I was put on a birth control, and it worked as far as like regulating my periods, and I don't know if it cleared up my skin. I mean, my skin kind of stayed the same. I've never really had horribly bad skin. No, you know what? I never had horribly bad skin, but I was having a lot more breakouts. So my skin did get better. It regulated the periods and everything else. Okay. I was told by that doctor I could not have babies. What he said was, it's going to be hard to get pregnant and you're going to have fertility treatments and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Whatever. Okay. So then when I switched doctors, and that doctor said the same thing, PCOS, and it's gonna, like, this was like a couple years later, it's gonna be hard to have babies, blah, blah, blah. Then, when I was 20, just turned 21. Yeah, I just turned 21, so I was, like, partying it up, and drinking like crazy, and, like, all that stuff, yeah, woo, right? And I got pregnant. And I was like, excuse me, I thought I wasn't supposed to be able to have children easily. And the doctor was like, congratulations. Now you know when you're ovulating, and you know you could probably, like, this is like a good time for you to try if you try again. And, you know, drinking negates the birth control aspect. Like, it makes it less accurate. And at the same time, the pill gave you like a regular enough situation that you were able to conceive. Congratulations. And I was like, oh, thanks. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my daughter to death. But at 21 years old, after being told I couldn't have kids for 5 years, I totally was not expecting that. So it was like, all right. Anyway, so I got pregnant without trying. Totally without trying. While I was on the pill, but drinking, so it wasn't 100%. So I guess that would be the same as like skipping a couple of days here and there. Okay. After the baby, I just never started the birth control again. Because, oh God. You know, there were alternate means that I didn't have to take them. So I was like, you know what? That's what we're doing and whatever. And, you know, and I didn't have a period for like a year after the baby, and it was just like, you know, it was a crazy mess again, but it was like, I can't care about that right now. I just can't. I gained more weight, you know, all the symptoms got worse. Everything was just ridiculous, whatever. 2005, the storm hit. I gained even more weight. Now, I would love to be able to tell you that was PCOS. That was not. That was my food addiction, like straight up. And then, you know, and I had doctors who were like after the storm, a doctor was like, well, this is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and we need to get you on hormones and like fix all this. And it was like, I have been on medication almost my whole life for a very long time for attention deficit and stuff. And I was on, like, after the storm, like, they gave me, like, anti-anxiety and then antidepressant. It was, like, all this shit was just fucking, and I was like, I'm not taking anything else. I don't want to take hormones. I don't want to take anything that's going to make me more emotional, less emotional, over-emotional. I don't want to be fucked with anymore. Like, I was just at a point of, like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, seriously. And I just went, nope. I'm not taking anything for the attention deficit. My poor boss would be like, are you ever going to take your medicine again? No, I'll probably never be that deficient again. I'm sorry. But, I you know, like, and it really hurt me to feel like I couldn't perform the way I know that I can, but it was like, I can't. I can't do it. Like, I have to take a break right now. And so, like, that was one thing that was going on. I took myself off of everything. And I talked to the banana, and I was like, dude, seriously? Like, you know, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm not taking any of this medicine anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I have to be able to hear myself think and stuff like that. And so she was like, all right, cool. And it took a while for me to adjust to not being on anything, but that's what I did. And periods were horrible, and PCOS was there, and I dealt with all the disgusting, horrible, funky side effects of it. And then I decided to get sober and to get healthy. And it really was healthy and sober. I was not at all about size. When I started, and I say this in several videos throughout the beginning, and when I started, I think the smallest I had been in my adult life was 165. And I honestly thought that was where I was going to get. Like, that would be, like, it, you know? And actually, 165 is when I got pregnant. That is the one thing that I did do. Not only was I drinking and negating the birth control, but I had lost a lot of weight and gotten really healthy. And the doctor told me, well, you put yourself in the best possible position. And I was like, how in the fuck did I put myself? And he was like, well, you've gotten healthy, you've gotten active, and you've lost weight, and all those things. So it was like, wait a second, you told me I couldn't get pregnant. And he was like, well, yeah, it's going to be hard because the weight gain and all the other symptoms. And he was like, but if you can get those in check, then you have a better possibility of naturally getting pregnant. And I was like, well, you didn't say that. Like, nobody told me that exercising was going to equal a baby. But anyway, so I got healthy, and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm changing my life. And you guys know the story of that. And I lost my first 10% of my body weight, and I got the first period I had had in a year. And it was 3 weeks long, which was relatively short for me. And then a month later, as I continued to lose weight, I got my next one. And since 2010, since September 2010, I have had a period every month. There has been twice when it's doubled up. Like, had one, had 2 weeks off, had one, and then it kind of reset from there. And there have been varying, like, some of them will be like 3 days. You know, some of them are like 5 days. And there's been maybe 4, like a handful, that have been extremely heavy and horribly painful. But for the most part, they're like pretty normal, and they're pretty set. And I can be like, oh my God, I'm feeling emotional, I'm going to start my period soon, and bam, I will start. And the funny thing is that now, like, when the banana starts acting a fool, and I'm like, well, you know, we're about due, she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, we are. And sure enough, it starts. And it's so funny, because I'm like, I'm the one who never had, like, could never tell. And now I have that shit on lock. It's like, I know when it's happening. I'm in control, like in control of my mind. Like, when I start to feel all like, ooh, I'm like, that's what that is. So, yeah, it got better with weight loss, with health. And that's really, like, I mean, in my opinion, it's like a tiny bit of irregularity and stuff is totally worth being off of all the hormones and the pill. So, do I still have some facial hair that I deal with? So the symptoms of the PCOS are still there. I still have the kind of weird periods, but they're not bad at all. My skin, I mean, you see my skin, it's not like smooth baby skin, but it's not like horribly broke out all the time, so that's cool. I lost weight. I did it really in a fierce, ferocious way, and I just attacked it and was like, there's going to be no excuses, there's going to be no reason not to, I'm going to do it no matter what, and I did it, so obviously it's doable. And I think somebody else commented and was like, I've lost 30 pounds and I have PCOS, so it is happening. Don't let it be a crutch or an excuse. And the person who asked me has been doing really well and has PCOS, so obviously it is possible. And yeah, I guess that's it. I think she asked if I saw any side effects when I stopped taking the birth control, but I was already pregnant, so I can't tell you that was because of the stop taking the birth control. It could have very well been just the hormonally insane pregnancy. So anyway, that's PCOS. If I didn't cover anything, message me, let me know, or comment below, depending on how you want to do it. And if I missed a question or I didn't go into enough detail, let me know, because I don't mind talking about it.